Back with another Serum Bang and Patch tutorial. This is going to be how to create the classic future-based chord preset. This is a patch from one of our most popular Serum packs, Sunset, called the Power Saw. Dragging in a new Serum, let's create this whole thing from scratch. The sound is made up entirely out of basic waveforms hidden inside a Serum. Well, they're not hidden, they're there inside a Serum, and you can find them at basic shapes. Second one, we'll also want basic shapes. Click to change the view and see which one we are selecting. First one is going to be saw, second one is going to be square. And we'll also be using the sub as well, like, and go into LFO 1. Click, hold, drag this little circle here, which lets us adjust the curve. Up and up like that. This is going to be our basic LFO, which will help bring in the wub. Level, down, level, down, level, down. Click, hold, drag, and release. Click, hold, drag, release. Click, hold, drag, and release. Just with the sub, we'll drop in volume a little bit. We're going to add some super subtle noise as well. Turn on noise, drop the level down again, and click, hold, drag, release onto this level here. This adds some super subtle AC hum, which is kind of like white noise laid in the background. Just add a little bit more to that high end hiss. Just the pitch as well, so it's not as loud. I'll show you what it's doing. Now, how fast you want this classic wub to come in is determined by this LFO rate on 1, which we've been modulating to the sub and oscillators. So if we want it faster, we'll go 1/8. It's sounding fresh. Just realized I've been jamming with reverb in the background. That is not helpful. Oops. That is almost the front page done. The rest is just effects. One last thing we're going to do is add some FM from B-Boy. And we'll just drag this up. So that's adding some subtle character. Let's head over to the effects. As per usual, my go-tos, hyperdimension and distortion, but in this case we're going to drag the distortion beforehand. Going to drop the drive just a little bit, so we're adding some super subtle distortion. That's cool, but hyperdimension is not pumping yet because we need to change some values, mainly the mix down, the size down, and the mix up just a little bit. Good old multiband compression / OTT. It's sounding a little bit too squished, so we can click, hold, and drag green values and bring them up. Not bad, not bad. And smooth this out with some reverb, which I had before. Just realized I've been jamming with reverb in the background. That is not helpful. Increase the size a little bit, leave decay where it is. Low cut, we don't need reverb on the bass, so we're going to drag this up just a little bit. And high cut, maybe up a little bit as well. Reverb, personal preference if you want it soaked, or if you don't want that much. Up to you. And lastly, just a little bit of an EQ. Going to change this to the high pass, and turn the Q down a bit and drag this on the frequency. Just a little bit of a sub cut off since we've got the bass playing over here. We don't really want it clashing with that. We want it clashing in a good way. We want a bit of overlapping, but we don't want straight clashing, so. Right now I can hear the reverb overlapping with the next chord change, so that is not good. So we're gonna drag this down a little bit. Tempted to hear how the sounds are without randomization. Very predictable with each note, making sure it hits exactly the same starting point every time. I don't know, once again, personal preference. If you want a little bit more variation, increase the randomization of the phase. But if you want it super predictable and sound exactly the same every single time, randomization off would be a good start. And I think I've got way too much noise as well. Overall, basic waveforms are key. You can hear it on the edges. Oh my god, that sounds so floomy. If we take an EQ, mid-side, we only want the sides. This sounds bonkers. Spectral blur, taking a tangent yet again. Too much, too much, too much, too much. we got the fluminess, and we got the future bass. Kind of really didn't just explain what I did. Basically heard that the unison was pushing out more variations, but it kind of sounded like an ARP, but it was at the edges. So I went and dropped in an EQ, changed it from stereo to mid-side, got rid of the mids completely, so it was just the stereo on the edges, what I could hear. That sounds a little bit messy, so I dropped in a utility to make sure I was only capturing the left ear side, so it will technically make this mono again. Spectral blur. I think spectral blur makes it mono anyway. Oh well, that's not needed, never mind. And I'm gonna make sure we've got no bass. Then chucked it into a group using Command G or Control G. Made a separate chain by right clicking create chain. So the normal serum passes through here, unaffected. But the flumi ARP serum passes through here with all its effects. So I essentially split the sound into two different paths. What happened to you? Bangin'! Super basic waveforms, create an LFO to control the pulse, some subtle distortion, widening, OTT, reverb, and you're good to go. It's a super easy sound to make and it's super effective for future bass, so hopefully you did enjoy. Catch you guys next Sunday for another tutorial. See you then and peace.